生きがいの隅でまた霞み始めてる決意揺らぎそうでも閉ざされた空その鍵を壊せばそう握られた刃はまだ持て余されて加速する共鳴が言霊を脈打たせてくあなたへと注がれた光の雨瞳に映ったこの世界を守るため決意を新たに変えつなぎ絶やさないよ立ち向かうそれは先人にきらめくだことき流星心燃やしが Just set fire 最後が決められるのならば勇気を持って踏み出した意志貫いたままで使命を落とす定め荒ぶる流れに任せて戦えば注がれた光の雨瞳に映ったこの世界を守るため決意を新たに変え届くには小さな手なのだとしても一陣の光となり駆け抜けろ心燃やしが Just set fire 読み解けない得体の知れない恐怖が目の前に迫る負けら揺らがない信じてる暗闇の中踏破できるはず注がれた光の雨瞳に映ったこの世界を守るため決意を新たに変えつなぎ絶やさないよ立ち向かう空は先人にきらめくだごとき流星詩人の光となり駆け抜けろ可能性へ挑む僕ら心燃やしが Just set fire 見かけよそう
Okay, can everyone hear me? I
Can
hope.
hear you, yeah.
Welcome everyone to the stream. Super excited. With Elrond here and Maiar, we're going to talk a lot about a lot of really cool things, introduce a new Guardian. I suppose I'll start with saying who I am for people who are not familiar with me. My name is Pellek, YouTuber, musician, art director at ChainGuardians. Also work as a creative director at Bondly. You've probably seen my face from my YouTube channel or from trying to act in several TV shows like HBO's Vikings. But I also make music for video games like Magic the Gathering, League of Legends, etc., and ChainGuardians. Today we're giving away 2 bits of merch. giving away one of the Elrond NFTs and also $1,000 worth of EGLD. And to be eligible to win, guys, follow the instructions in the description. And I think maybe we should just start by asking Sever, who's in here with us from Maiar, if you can introduce yourself, provide some background maybe for people who are not familiar with Elrond and Maiar. Yeah, floor is yours.
I think he means Elrond, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hi
Go on.
guys, happy to be here. My name is Sever. I'm from Elrond. Elrond is a layer 1 blockchain. We take pride with our consumer app called Maiar. Maiar is the easiest way to get into crypto. If you just use a phone and the phone number, you immediately and securely get a crypto wallet, which will soon be usable for NFTs and a lot of cool things like DeFi. So happy to be here and discuss NFTs and the ChainGuardians, and happy to be here, Pellek. Thanks for the invite, guys.
Awesome. We also have CEOs of ChainGuardians, Emma and Rob here. Do you want to make a quick introduction, guys?
Sure. Hey, this is Emma. For those that are new to here, I am one of the co-founder and also the chief in command of ChainGuardians. So basically, all the guardians listen to me, I hope. So don't ever get on the wrong side of me. Otherwise, I'll send the guardian to look after them, to fight you. So just a little bit about ChainGuardian for those new audience. So ChainGuardian, we are the world's first blockchain superhero gaming ecosystem. So basically, what it means that we created a very cool play to earn gaming ecosystem for our project. And because we are actually started our NFT project very back in 2019 and one of the few early adopter, we actually get to work with a lot of cool blockchain project and develop a superhero for them to represent in our ecosystem. Of course, Elrond actually being the one that we actually super excited with. And thank you and Silver for it's our honor to have you attending as a special guest today. Thank you. It's because we're super excited of what you're trying to, what Elrond trying to do for the blockchain space. And I really believe Elrond's actually going to make a big difference in the blockchain history. And then we'll get to work with you and to integrate with our ecosystem. Super exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll just very quickly. Robbie, one of the co-founders of ChainGuardians, really excited to be on this live stream and have Sever with us from Elrond. Massive fan of them. Emma's kind of talked about what we do, and I'm really just excited to learn about what Elrond's got coming up on their roadmap. They've been making absolute waves in the crypto space and beyond, and I am really excited about the potential opportunities we're going to have to collaborate with Elrond with regards to Maiar and beyond. And I'm really pleased that when we met with the Elrond guys, we just hit it off straight away. They're super massive gaming aficionados. They're massively into fantasy and sci-fi, and they've just got so much synergy with what we're building. So we're really excited to have Sever on, and yeah, thank you for joining us, Sever.
Awesome. Kind of brings me to my next question. I was going to ask you if you can tell us a bit about the ChainGuardians and Elrond partnership, what it's all about, and what it means for the ChainGuardians community and so on. So do you want to keep talking about that, Rob?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. So I think there are multiple really exciting opportunities with regards to the working with Elrond. They have a phenomenal amount of opportunities with DeFi, which they are building, and obviously Sever can kind of basically probably touch on what DeFi opportunities Elrond are building himself. Me personally, I've been pushing our tech team to investigate and really research the potential of Maiar for quite some time. I think now that they're pretty much have just launched Maiar, the opportunities there for how we could necessarily will possibly utilize Maiar for onboarding new users into blockchain gaming is exponential, because they allow users to sign up and access blockchain through Maiar just by using a phone number. And I won't kind of steal Sever's thunder there. I'd love for him to talk a little bit more about it, but I'm personally very excited about that opportunity of using Maiar for onboarding users who are not necessarily too familiar with blockchain and blockchain gaming, in particular.
Awesome. So perfect transition for me then to ask Sever to talk a bit, provide some background, etc. on Elrond and everything that you guys are doing. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Thank you for that, and thank you for the transition. So at Elrond, we're building the internet scale blockchain. We believe that there are the blockchain potential is transformational for the entire global financial landscape. But in order to be that catalyst of change, it needs to overcome a few limitations. So one of them is scalability, which means not only speed, but also like a capability to process a large number of transactions, and of course cost, right? So we built Elrond based on sharding technology. I'm not going to get into that, but the result is that we have a live network capable of processing 15,000 transactions per second at 6 seconds latency and a transaction cost of just $0.001, right? So I think in terms, like, just to compare it with the internet, we believe that Elrond is for blockchain what broadband was for the internet, right? Like the transition from modem to broadband. And then to go beyond that, we also want to build the interface for using this new system, so it's easy to use for anyone. Just again, to make a comparison with the internet, we have built a Maiar app to be for blockchain what the browser was for the internet, right? I'm the only one with gray hair here, so I'm probably the only one who remembers what it was like to get online with CLI and modem and so on. So like the internet was still a great invention, but it took broadband and browser to bring it where it is today, so that everyone can use it now the way that they do, right? So you don't need to you don't need to know what SMTP is to send an email. The same way you won't need to know what blockchain technology is to be able to use it, right? So this is what we're building. We're building the blockchain. We're building also the Maiar app, and we're super excited about NFTs. We believe that NFTs will change everything, right? So we see a big push right now of NFTs in games and entertainment, which we believe is just the beginning, is just a catalyst. But we believe that wherever uniqueness, authenticity, traceable history and auditability, and of course, global availability at near instant speed and low cost is needed, which is basically any business vertical, will use NFTs in a great way. And I believe that gaming NFTs and especially art NFTs are a great start here, because they introduce this crazy alien concept from the future to anyone in a very easy to understand and engage with manner. And this is my personal favorite about the collaboration with ChainGuardians, because I bought into their vision right away. So they're not just making gaming NFTs, but they're rather building a value ecosystem that appeals to a new generation and a new audience via relatable stories with a nice background story, but which gets people engaged. But actually, it gets them engaged with finance. It gets them engaged with decentralized finance concepts and so on. But it eases them in, right? I immediately fell in love when Aidan explained like the automated appraisals for NFTs, and then using the value of the appraised NFTs in DeFi. Awesome. I love that. So this is where I'm coming from, and this is why I'm so super excited to be here together with ChainGuardians, and I'm super excited to see Aaron.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. It was very nice. Yes, we're excited.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, he said Aaron, guys. Should we maybe have a Rob bring up the screen and show people and get into the first auction?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Give me 1 second.
So I just want to,
Awesome.
I know what you're talking about the modem. I just dye my hair so that you don't see the white.
So do you remember
Actually,
modems?
I don't
All right.
have to dye my hair, but I'm just kidding. Just in my
And-
gene, my family is lucky we don't have white hair, but yeah.
And also, to be completely honest, Seva, on the top I'm pretty brown, but underneath I'm pretty grey. I don't know what's going on here, but it somehow just manages to stay brown on the top, but underneath I'm just a net of grey hair. So yeah. But I wanted to also just like really thank you there, Seva, because you've told an amazing story there about Elrond, and I think it's just you've really made like what is a very complicated network infrastructure and a very complicated stack that you're building really understandable for both our users that are just maybe experiencing Elrond for the same time, but also obviously anybody that's come to watch today. And then you've talked very sophisticatedly about why that's very exciting in terms of your collaboration with us, and you've said some really kind words. So thank you very much for that. I'll bring up my screen. Okay. So hopefully everyone can see here. So right now we have got Eren number 1 and Eren number 3 that is on auction. We set the auctions 24 hours ahead. And as you can see, Eren number 3 here is due to end in about 1 hour 16 minutes. Maybe we were slightly off with that timing. Top bidder is currently Los Mitos. And just to be very clear on this one, all of the proceeds that we raise for the number 3 auctions go to a charity, and we 99% of the time, or 90% of the time, that will always be Binance charity. You know, we have a great relationship with them, and they have got some wonderful initiatives around, you know, basically post-COVID recovery, which I believe a lot of practically everybody around the world we know has been impacted by COVID in one way or another, whether it's seeing loved ones or its financial impact. And I think that that's a wonderful initiative that they've got going on there. And also some things such as Binance's Lunch for Children, whereby they look to feed young people in Africa and you know, other countries, specifically Africa, in order to enable them to eat properly whilst they are attending school and receiving vital education. So I just wanted to touch very quickly on that, it's a wonderful initiative there going for them. And for those of us that are in a fortunate enough position to be able to afford wonderful pieces of digital art and collectibles like Eren, you know, we're in a very privileged position, obviously, and I think it's just really nice that we can give back in such a way.
Absolutely, totally.
And the number
we did
one
last time as well, and raised quite a lot of money for that charity. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I think it was about 7,000. Emma, you might be able to correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was about 7,000 US dollars. And I think when we did the Binancio sales, which is Binance's Guardian, we raised probably in and around 10,000 United States dollars then. And that, I know that from 10,000 perspective, based on Binance Charities calculations, that indicates that basically 100 children with that amount of money could be fed for an entire school year, which I think is just phenomenal to have that sort of impact. And last time I think the number 3 went for about 5,000 or 6,000, so we could say another 50 children if it goes to Binance's Lunch for Children. I just think that these are just really wonderful numbers. Like each one of these is a life, right? So it's nice to do that. And the number 1 is unique artwork, the maximum statistics or stats that you can possibly get for a you know, for the Guardian within the ChainGuardians ecosystem. So she'll always be amongst the most powerful, and I just think that she is absolutely stunning. If I don't say maybe mildly too sexy as well. So you know, we'll bring Noy in to talk about his design here, and obviously he worked or he received a lot of direction from Sever and the team at Elrond, because they're very passionate about the Guardian that met their brand as well. So whenever that comes up, Fred, I'd give opportunity for them to speak on the art.
Yeah, I was actually, unless you have more stuff to say about the auction right now, because we're going to revisit it, I actually want to introduce Noy. You see it on your screen, guys. He's one of the most talented people I've met. If you, at the start of the stream, you might have seen some graphics over the song that I made for ChainGuardians, the first of many songs, and Noy made that, and he's insane. And I think a lot of people would love to hear you talk about some character inspiration, so maybe some lore or your influences, your favorite characters, both ChainGuardians and outside ChainGuardians, etc. You're kind of like a legend, dude. So I think just speak your mind. I would love to hear more about it. You can just start with maybe what inspired you for this character specifically.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys for inviting me again. I can't believe you guys invited me after my last one, but I'm very appreciative. And Sever, this is the first time we're meeting. It's very cool. Thank you very much for allowing me to design your character. It's very awesome. And yeah, I was super excited actually to design this character because it's, you know, pretty girls, elven girls are like my favorite things to draw ever. So yeah, totally right up my alley. Very neat. And it's crazy because what you spoke about earlier about uh, appealing to, I'm a casual. I know nothing about NFTs and stuff like that before all this. So it is an amazing gateway, using the comic books and you know, anime as a gateway to kind of get into NFTs. It's phenomenal. I can't believe I'm in this situation where I get to participate in this. It's awesome. So thank you for the opportunity. But yeah, a bit about me. I'm a comic book artist. I've done comic book artwork. I've done some toy designs for DC Comics, Marvel Comics, as well. I did an animated spot for them, and I had a 6-issue run of a comic called Exalted back in the day. It's a long time ago. You could go look it up. It's, I think, from Image Comics. Yeah, and I'm influenced by everything, pretty much American comics, anime. You can kind of see the influence in the artwork. It's not quite anime, it's not quite American. It's kind of a mixture of both. So that's where that's from. And yeah, Elrond particularly was super fun for me to draw. Um, and I don't know what else to say aside from that. I mean, it was a lot of fun for me. But you guys want me to talk about like the inspiration as far as her armor and stuff like that? Like,
Sure.
I mean,
just
yeah, I would.
what
Yeah,
artists
yeah,
are gonna go
go
through.
on.
Like I haven't mentioned this to anybody, but this is what I kind of my thought process when I design for Elrond, because she's a space. Is it space? Like a space elven princess. I'd imagine. I didn't want to create a character like a wizard, like your typical wizard, where I'm gonna cast a spell on you with a staff. I wanted to be more original, so I took the staff idea, and the staff is essentially a conduit, like siphons power from her surroundings, and it feeds her armor, and that's what gives her power. And her main mode of attack is 90% of the time is to shoot like a beam from her hand that's channeled through the staff. So it kind of looks like she knows magic, but she doesn't really. She could, with a flick of a finger, turn on a light bulb, and people be like, "Oh my God, you're like a wizard," stuff like that. But it's really not. She just has control over electricity and things around her. So the staff can also, what was I thinking? Has the ability to kind of draw energy from its foes and kind of drain their armor of power. It also has the power to kind of overload them, or overload, like say Bitsy's weapon, kind of thing. So the staff isn't really the main weapon, but it could also be her final weapon as well, where she can shoot her ultimate beam from that weapon. But the thing is, it would kind of deplete her armor, so it would leave her vulnerable. So that's kind of like the idea I had when I was creating this character. And I've never told anybody this, and every character has this kind of a thought process behind it. Um, so whether it makes it into the lore, I don't know. It's up to Robbie. He's the creator of this lore, so I don't want to step on his feet or anything like that. But that's kind of the basic concept behind that armor.
Knowing Robbie and knowing his love for everything that not only you're doing, but like anime and art in general, I'm pretty sure he's gonna love to bring that into the lore.
Absolutely. I mean, it's clear. Sometimes I think myself and Noi, I think we kind of have like a little bit of an unwritten communication in the sense that sometimes he will draw something and it tells the story itself, and I can pick up on that and I can run with that, and he will have quite strong input into, you know, some of the law direction in that way. And I think vice versa as well. You know, sometimes I will give maybe a description of a character or some basic direction, and Noi will just instantly kind of draw this amazingly obscure picture that I had in my mind that I'd have no way of using words to describe, but somehow he just understands exactly the concept that we're looking for. And I think Eren's a perfect example of that. You know, where actually I think it was very little in terms of the way I had guidance. Actually, in this instance, it was more Sever and the Elrond team. Fairly frequently, you know, it's a case of we have to, or maybe myself, have to step in to quite heavy extent to give some guidance on maybe description or some rough draft for Noi to work from. But in this case, it was Sever and the Elrond team, in particular Sever, who's super into gaming and sci-fi and wizardry. And I'd actually like to ask Sever a little bit about where you came up with the description for Eren and what inspired you for that.
Yeah. So first of all, Noi, thank you so much. So what Robe has been saying about you being able to magically extract the whatever is in the creator's heart, you did it for me as well, because I never told this to anyone, but Eren basically is my niece. So
Oh wow.
Eren is my niece's nickname, right? And that's her chosen nickname. I even registered at Eren on Maiar just to make sure that she gets it before everyone else, because it will be a rush for these things. And then obviously I wanted the idea of like an elven princess, right? And then we just wanted to say from the future, because she wants to come back to witness the birth of like the interplanetary scale network, which is a play on internet scale blockchain, right? But besides that, I didn't give any more guidance to that. But the output, so like my niece will love it. So it's basically, she's tall, she has super long hair, she's super into anime, and I think this also the idea with the conduit instead of a staff. So like any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. I love that, and I'm all into it. And thank you so much for it. It's beautiful.
No, thank you. I got goosebumps. That's amazing. Wow, what an honor. That's awesome. Wow.
Sweet, guys. So let me just ask you guys. So then the number one auction ends soon, right?
Well, I think it was maybe supposed to, and I think maybe perhaps we got the timing slightly long wrong, because OpenSea is indicating 1 hour and 25 minutes. So if we are to if we are to end the live stream before then, which I suspect we probably may, I think we will obviously do some sort of summary in a in a blog post to update the winners and congratulate the winners of those auctions, including obviously the number 3. What we always do with the number 2 is sometimes we get asked about that, is the number 2 is always given as a gift to the team that we have produced the character for. So by default, Los Mitos is a new bidder, and I'm not sure if it's one of the Elrond team or maybe Sever himself. I'm really not sure. But Los Mitos is in for number 1 and number 3. But by default, we will always give the number 2 as a gift to the project that we create the Guardian for. So I'm quietly hopeful that either Sever and or Eren herself may end up with the number 2 catch. That would be a really nice story.
Really cool. And just a reminder too that the number 1 catch always has perfect stats, rare design, and this one I think is 550 hash rate, the number 1. So
I think it'd probably be slightly higher than that, but
yeah, it should be higher than that. But
yeah, the number 1s are usually way up
like
there.
at least like 1,000, right?
1,000 plus, yeah.
That's what I thought. I was actually told 550, so I was surprised. But okay, good then. Yeah, because before we talk more about auctions, I'm thinking, because we have Ben on, who loves the Guardian program, and I just know that he wants to talk about it. I gotta put that in there somewhere. Ben, please.
Fred, you know me too well, don't you? Yeah, so basically the Guardian program, for people that are tuning in for the first time, is a program we've designed specifically for early CGG holders as a way to say, to express our gratitude for our early supporters. And this week, we are ecstatic to announce that we have our first 2 participants that were nominated into the Guardian tier, being Harley, who's kind of, I guess you could say, our coordinator and our stud over on Discord. For any community members that are familiar with our Discord, you will know that Harley is so integral to everything we have going on over there. So if you get the chance, head over to Discord and make sure you tell Harley thank you for everything you've done and congratulate him for being one of the first to join the ranks among the guardianship standard, I guess you could say. And then the second participant that we have is I Am Troll, who has been really instrumental in what we've done. Actually, he's done a lot of the soundtracks in addition to kind of leading up to Fred's amazing piece. And if y'all haven't had the chance to kind of loop back and look at the introduction of this video, Fred is just top class. I mean, it's always such an honor being able to put your stuff on our channel, Fred. So thank you for consistently producing absolutely amazing work. So I Am Troll has also kind of helped fill in some of the soundtrack stuff, and he's done a bunch of things behind closed doors that have really helped us out. And that's what this whole program is for, is recognizing our amazing community members and being able to select those top contributors as, I guess you could say, brand loyalists, because that's so important to us. Is we recognize how amazing our community is. And the number one thing we want to do is reward people for going above and beyond and being a central piece to what we're trying to do. As most people know, our vision is becoming the go-to blockchain gaming organization and project, and we can't do that without our community. And so as we continue to unravel a lot of these absolutely amazing projects, announcements, and stuff that we're moving forward with, one of the things that's most important is recognizing that we cannot move forward as a project without the basis of our community. And so recognizing that and rewarding people for being involved early and continuing to be high contributors is central to our beliefs. And we have 8 more spots available. So if you so feel inclined, absolutely move forward with your contributions, whether it just be commenting, directing people the right direction, and you may find yourself in the guardianship tier. Now, in terms of content that we're looking to move forward with, we are still working on an outline that covers essentially the entirety of the Guardian program. That should come out here shortly if you're numbers oriented like myself. And so stay tuned for that, because it's going to be exciting to look at the program as a whole and say, hey, this is how much NFT mining boost I'm getting, or this is a discount code and the percentage that I'll get for merchandise as it unravels. Which, by the way, slight spoiler alert, the merchandise we have in the pipeline right now, I'm going to be broke. I mean, Carlos, I'm sure you're watching, who's kind of our lead merchandise guy, but Carlos, I blame him because there's not going to be a lot of room left in my budget once this line comes out. But there's a merchandise discounts. As you continue to progress through the tiers, there's opportunity to get free characters airdropped and art airdropped and exclusive events. So we will, if you head on over to our blog on our website, it outlines all of this. But just know, the program from square one and still today is a program built by the community for the community as a way for us to reward our holders and our early supporters. So that's the brief summary on that front, and it should be exciting to see how that unravels in the week or weeks to come. So Fred, thank you so much for allowing me this time to stay on the stream instead of popping out of the shadows. Felt like Zed from League of Legends popping out of the shadows last time, but it's an honor to be able to hang out with you guys and be here for today's call and live stream. So appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Ben. And you're amazing, by the way. Since the first second I joined ChainGuardians, you've been super, super cool to me. So I appreciate that. Might as well mention it since you were so cool to me right now.
Well, thank you, Fred. I appreciate it. You make me blush more than my girlfriend sometimes.
Oh, nice. So I suppose we could start doing the Q&A now. If you guys agree, that might be a good idea. I know people have questions. You can direct your questions at anyone, by the way, guys. To Ben, to Rob, to Sever, to me, to Noi, anyone. I know I personally have more questions for Noi. I'm an art guy. I love art. I'm trying to create art myself. So I still have lots of questions for Noi, but we did tell people that we would do a Q&A. So while someone brings up those questions, I don't know if that's Ben or Sever who's going to do that. Probably, is it Ben?
Yeah, I can absolutely bring them up. If you have the live stream open as well, there will be, now is the time to start sending your questions via the Maiar app. So you can do that, and with the micro donation, they will pop up on the screen. We can field them as they come in, and we also have a transcript of questions that I can go back to and kind of sort through as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. We should probably just be really clear with the instructions for how to send in those questions via the Maiar app. I believe that they've been updated into the description, if I'm not mistaken, Ben. Essentially, download the Maiar app to your phone. Should be very quick and easy. That's Elrond, one of Elrond's flagship products. And at that stage, once you have got the Maiar app on your phone. If you have not yet done so, if you go to the Amplify program that Maiar have set up, they will, once you've set it up and you complete those tasks, you will receive some free EGLD in order to use the EGLD to ask your questions. Now, the EGLD that you then send needs to be very minimal. You can put like 00001, something very minimal, and you get more than sufficient amount for completing those Amplify tasks. At this stage, you would then need to send a note to Ben CG gamertag, if I'm not mistaken, and in the note section you would add your question. Maybe somebody wants to clarify anything there that I might have said incorrectly.
No, that's perfect. Actually, here's the first question, Fred. If you don't mind, I think it might be easier for me to just look at the transcripts here as they continue to pop up on the screen. This one is from @TurtleJ, who asked, will NFTs be able to be held in Maiar wallets? If yes, will you eventually be able to sign up for CG as an alternative to MetaMask using Maiar?
Yeah, Sever.
Yeah, I'll take this one. So NFTs will be in Maiar. NFTs are locked into the Elrond mainnet, so they will become available starting with the 28th of April, which is like 1 week from now. Super exciting. And as soon as that is live, the Maiar app will be updated to have NFTs, and obviously we will add the Elrond magic touch to it. So in the Maiar app, you will have something like a value feed, which looks like an Instagram feed or Facebook feed or whatever, but instead of pictures and movies and whatever, there will be NFTs. And we think this will be super powerful, because anyone with a phone will be able to NFTize their experiences, whether it's recording a clip, a video, taking a selfie, right? I was giving Fred the idea to give, digital autographs, like when they meet up with a fan, he can take a selfie with his phone and then NFTize it via Maiar and send it to the fan, right? Which is immediately super valuable because it's an NFT of a moment with a history attached to it that proves where it came from, right? And in Maiar, NFT, so minting an NFT will be $0.01, it's like a cent, and sending them will cost about as much, right? And I think this will be super valuable to the entire ChainGuardian experience, because obviously everyone wants value to be moved towards the NFTs themselves and towards the experience, and less on fees and the inconvenience of whatever platforms like MetaMask and whatever, right? So if you get Maiar already, you will see that you can sign into it with your fingerprint or Face ID, whatever phone you're using, which immediately transforms your mobile phone into a biometrically enabled 2FA hardware device. Easy, right? So we believe that this will change, obviously, everything. And I know that Rover has been super carefully looking into like how to integrate the tech, and we're happy to work together there to enable this. We want to see ChainGuardian NFTs also in the Elrond ecosystem and also in Maiar. And there are a lot of opportunities there, and we're super excited to enable them. Maybe Robbie, you wanted to add something else?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know what other questions are coming in, so I don't want to steal people's thunder to ask some of the additional questions, right? Because, I mean, Sever's answer there is phenomenal. I think we absolutely see ourselves as having being a part of the Elrond, ecosystem, and the chain and stuff. I think a large part of what we've built and we continue to aspire to build at ChainGuardians is actually, the opportunity for all our users to explore cross-chain operability, moving the NFTs from Ethereum to Elrond to Matic to Binance Smart Chain. And a large reason for that is because actually, from an altruistic perspective, we believe that, you know, for blockchain to succeed on a holistic scale, you know, these kind of user-friendly, high quality user experiences are vital for, you know, every newcomer to the blockchain ecosystem and everybody within the blockchain ecosystem. And I think a large part of the law, the world that we created exists around this opportunity of moving NFTs onto their native chain. You know, so RN, we want to be part of the Elrond ecosystem. You know, Seth should be part of the Ethereum ecosystem. Mudra should be on Polygon, which was then Matic, for example. And we want to incentivize users to go and learn about moving assets across the different chains by providing hash rate boosts, so through gamification, by providing power buffs within the RPG, and so on and so forth. And I think from our perspective, Elrond is a huge part of that, because often what you would find is perhaps a lot of different chains may not have huge focus on NFTs. I think that you will find that they will do in time. So when you are looking to integrate with these different chains, you may come across you know, like a lack of, like, let's say programming or you know, technology there for making that an easy transition. Whereas if you just heard Sever talk there for, you know, a few minutes on what Elrond are looking to build with Maiar, automatically you can see that it, as a, you know, as one of our next steps, Elrond has definitely got to be right up there in terms of where we're looking to enable our users to you know, move their NFTs and be involved in the Elrond ecosystem without a doubt. So yeah, hopefully that adds to what Sever said in terms of ChainGuardians.
Beautiful. So let's see here. Both, thank you, Sever and Rob, for the clarity. I mean, that's just such a well-rounded response. It's a tag team duo on that front.
It's easy when Sever goes first because he's just super bright, so I can just sound intelligent on the top of him. That's the way it works.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm seeing a question here regarding the number of mints for Aaron. Are we?
Yeah.
How many total mints of Aaron?
I was fighting for less, but there was I wanted like 100 max because I think Eren should be super rare. But I think like the counter argument was that Elrond's community is huge and we don't really want to restrict the numbers too much because we want opportunity for people to own an Eren if they want. So I think the number right now is 300, which in itself is not large, holistically speaking. But from my point of view, and this is something that we would probably, I'd have to get confirmed with the other two people, you know, my boss who's sat, you know, below me on the screen. Any that are kind of not bought within a month or so, I would want to burn to make sure that, like, you know, that not Eren, just the unsold mints of Eren. Eren will always be there. You know, this is the thing with NFTs; they never die. But yeah, I just think because she is what we call, like, from my perspective, she is an actual guardian. When we created ChainGuardians, the name is not by mistake, right? Chain meaning blockchain, guardian meaning the guardian of that blockchain, right? So Elrond has its own chain, right? So she is a guardian of the Elrond blockchain, right? Bitsy is the guardian of the Bitcoin blockchain, Seth of the Ethereum blockchain, and so on and so forth. So from my perspective, she should be right up there with the initial four that we did with their own chain, right? Bitsy for Bitcoin, Seth for Ethereum, Lolita for Litecoin, and Dasher for Dasher for the Dash, right? They are the guardians of them chains. And Eren sits right up there in terms of she is an actual guardian of a chain. So from my perspective, yep, 300 mints fine. If everybody wants those 300 mints because Elrond's got a huge following and a huge amazing community, fine. And obviously a lot of our community will want them too. But if they are not sold for whatever crazy reason, I would personally like to make sure that they are just taken off market because I want it to be amongst the rarest, and hope that answers the question.
Can I also just add that I think we're actually listing listing them right now. So I think join the live stream, you can actually get another best price, similar to last live stream, and then afterward the price will actually go up slightly. So just as a live stream special.
Yeah, and to be clear with regards to those prices, because we don't want people to get the kind of wrong idea. The reason that they kind of offered like a good price during the live stream and then increased is it's something that we have always done as part of like the way that we have always analyzed the market is that, you know, people like to acquire assets that, you know, they feel may accumulate in price, which we understand. So I think that, but in order to protect, you know, and encourage people to actually engage with the NFT within our ecosystem, you know, the floor price is periodically just risen or rises very, very slightly. And that's the reason why we do that.
Beautiful. So
Yeah.
let's see here. And if anyone else sees any questions that pops up and you feel so inclined that those are questions that we want to take on, just let me know and we can obviously take a break from there. This question asks, when can we get /trade Chain Guardians or CGG on Maiar? Note, love you guys.
I guess, I mean, it's a question that could be, I guess, would be answered probably between myself, Sever, and Emma here. I'm going to deflect to Sever to talk about probably when Maiar is in a position that it can start maybe looking for us to onboard, and then I guess Emma, you can maybe talk a little bit about where we would be able to latch onto that.
Mm-hmm. So I will then start with two things. So the first one is, when will NFTs be live on Elrond network? Like I mentioned earlier, so they are locked in already in the mainnet. There has been a recent mainnet upgrade, and these new features will activate in 1 week from now. So on the 28th of April, NFTs will already be available on the Elrond mainnet. For anyone who wants to try them now, they're available on our public testnet and our public devnet. We have 2 of those. And then by Chain Guardians, you guys, Chain Guardians registering as a content creator in Maiar, all of your creations that you list there will be available for people to browse and to see. And soon with the Maiar exchange, which is like a decentralized exchange, which also features NFTs transfer, so people will be able also to transfer them there. So like by connecting the Maiar app with the Maiar exchange, already value marketplace is created for, you know, all, yeah, so for Chain Guardians and also all artists initially, right? We believe NFTs are for artists what startups are for tech.
Wow, nice. Yeah, I think from Chain Guardians perspective, yeah, thank you. So yeah, I think we're pretty much really any time to get started, because we actually currently just wrapping up another a tech integration with Chainlink. Many probably already know that we've been working on it for a while. So that's pretty much to go. It's going to be released soon. It's another interesting character. So so definitely that we definitely are ready. So anytime. So we can see this probably coming us whenever Elrond's ready. And then I don't think the integration will take, hopefully not too long. So we're thinking maybe hopefully within this quarter. Yeah, it'd be very exciting.
Awesome. And just feel free to let me know. Fred, I know you do a wonderful job at kind of keeping us on track with time, so feel free to yell at me, slap me on the hand when we need to kind of stop, roll down the questions here, buddy. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. I just a quick reminder is that if you ask a question, I mean, we don't even have to ask the question you're asking us, but if you ask questions, you are eligible to win merch, Elrond NFT, and Elrond EGLD, by the way. So keep the questions coming, even if we obviously we won't be able to answer them all. And sorry, you going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say that we apologize that the timing of the auction was set up slightly off, just because of calculating of the timing difference around the global time zone. Sometimes you get confused. So,
Awesome.
But that's all good, I think.
So
look at Rob. Look at Rob. Sorry, guys. I just have to say something about that. I'm a dog guy.
Should we pause the stream and bring all of our animals on?
I'm really sorry, guys. My pooch has just got home from his doggy daycare, and he obviously wants to just come and say hello. I'm very sorry about this. He was running about my feet. I thought if I don't pick him up, he's going to start crying, you know, so I do
Oh,
apologize.
Rob, you already know Carlos is rolling his eyes right now on the backside of
Oh,
things here, right?
100%. I'm totally in trouble, right?
Keep in mind though, the first time I ever met Carlos, he had his daughter on the stream for the entire meeting. So I think he'll
oh,
Yeah, that's true.
understand.
That's great.
I'm jealous. I have not
love
even met her. Like we have not even meet meet his daughter.
Oh, well, I have. Well, okay, so I think we can do a couple more questions if you guys don't mind, and then we look at Ben.
I had to join,
We're
guys.
not gonna
I'm
have time to do
sorry.
any questions or anything. It's just gonna be dog showcase.
Okay, let's
My
see
dog is
here.
well over here. I don't know.
You know, this is a
but yeah,
this is a
couple of
great
questions.
question here. Is what is ChainGuardians team's approach to onboarding non-crypto gamers?
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess have we got an hour to talk about that? We're doing a lot of things, right? How cute, by the way, Ben. I think a large part of what every blockchain project has, what my belief is, every blockchain project right now has a collective responsibility to educate everybody that's coming in from, say, an unfamiliar space. Into blockchain, and we are a massive part of that too. So I think education, and I do think that we want to probably even have expand, you know, how we are educating users, but not just through probably written content, but obviously video content. I know Ben, you did an excellent one on bridging Ethereum to CGG across to Binance Smart Chain recently via video, and that's had a lot of hits. So obviously education is a big part of that. We look to gamify our education as well. Like, for example, the NFT mining platform is based upon real cryptocurrency mining. It's essentially, it simulates, without obviously being on chain, NFT, like, you know, how people used to mine cryptocurrency, like how Bitcoin is still mined as a proof of stake algorithm. And obviously since then, you know, blockchain and you heard Sever touch upon sharding recently, as like it's just moved on so much, even from when we launched that project product a year or so ago, you know. So because the space is just evolving at like a hyper speed rate, you know, with actually running this ChainGuardians myself, sometimes I'm like, oh, hold on a minute, this is the case now. I have to go and re-educate myself because of the speed that the space is moving on. So it is a challenge, like, without a shadow of a doubt. But education is really important, I feel. On top of that, you know, having really user-friendly tools. And I think, for example, Sever's Elrond's Maiar app is an amazing example of that. Absolutely phenomenal example of that. Users can interact with the blockchain for the most part without even realizing that they are, just by signing up for the Maiar app with a telephone number. And I just think that that is just phenomenal. If you think where we were at a couple of years ago in terms of you know, the Web3 tools available for people. So I think for ourselves, obviously integrating and partnering with fantastic projects like Elrond to utilize the technology that they built, like Maiar app, for example, as well as obviously making sure that all of our products are as user friendly as possible as well. In many cases, presenting the opportunity for users to either, for example, learn and educate themselves on blockchain, and, you know, say, for example, have more control over their own dealings with the blockchain, for example, as a MetaMask and having their own keys, or let's say, for example, like a Dapper wallet, you know, an opportunities with a Dapper wallet, or the Maiar app, for example, whereby they don't necessarily even have to worry about their own private keys, right? So you're giving users the opportunity as well. So I think, you know, gamification of our products to educate, sometimes without even users necessarily formally consciously acknowledging it, user-friendly tools, and like consistently trying to educate. Hope that summarizes.
Can I actually, may I add? I was like, oh my God, Robbie talks forever. I wanted to jump in.
Sorry, guys.
May
We
I
know this
talk?
Of
No,
course.
we know Robbie likes to talk. I know. I try to be patient because I'm like, I always want to cut off people. That's my weakness. So I was like, now I start going, I wait till the end. Okay. So I think also the question is that what are some of the opportunities for non-gamer to join ChainGuardians? I think one of the biggest thing that Robbie probably did not, it got me time to think while Robbie is like talking. So which is a benefit. Noise art. Like we have one of the best digital art in the blockchain crypto space, I think personally. So I think even you don't have to be a gamer to like ChainGuardians, just simple holding our NFT digital collectible, it's probably like one of those amazing things you can do to yourself because beside that, they're very unique. And also we trying to build an ecosystem that it's one thing that you're collecting something such as NFT, but then we also build so many use cases on top, so you can actually earn. There's a whole DeFi element in our ecosystem that you can participate and make money. Like let's say I don't want to say make money, but you can earn play to earn, or you can mine to earn, so that you can actually get involved in this whole DeFi within the Chain Guardian with your NFT collectible, which I think is pretty cool. And then one day, let's say, for some reason it's like, oh, I no longer like this art of noise. You wanted to sell it, you can sell it to another person, or you can actually give it to somebody, right? No, it's not happy. I really know a lot of community members. They love our guardians so much they want one of each, right? Like actually, it's more than one person. It's like once you start collecting, they're like, oh no, the new one's always the better. Like he keep on coming out with amazing art. So I see digital collectible is one of the big thing. Like NFT give people the opportunity to actually hold something. And one of the things I probably did not tell a lot of people that I'm very excited about NFT space is that I like to buy things. I'm like such a collector. I like to buy anything that's cute, that's pretty, right? But now it's like the best opportunity. Like I can actually hold something, an NFT with value. I can resell it, and then I can also earn on top with the DeFi. So I think this is actually super exciting. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I
Oh,
can
sorry. One more
add-
thing. We also have merchandise. So if you don't like digital collateral, just go with the traditional merchandise that's coming out. You will be very happy. I'll just say that at the end. Thank you. Sorry, Silver.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to add on top of that because what you guys said is absolutely beautiful, and thank you for the kind words about Maiar. So obviously, getting a crypto wallet immediately just with your phone is awesome. I just wanted to shed some light on some additional features that the Elrond technology offers. So you know that for each blockchain transaction, you have to pay a fee, usually in the coin the native coin of the blockchain it's executed on. So like you have to pay ETH on Ethereum, right? So Elrond has something called meta transactions, right? So meta transactions are basically regular transactions, but instead of the user paying for the fee of the transaction, a relayer takes care of paying the fee on their behalf, right? So I think this removes yet another blocker for new people coming into the blockchain space. So people could be using Maiar to get NFTs and to transact them on their platform as blockchain transactions, but without being exposed to the complexity of also buying EGLD and spending it and what's going on here, right? So I think this is one barrier that scares away a lot of newcomers. As they get into it, as they learn more about it. I mean, doing purchasing some crypto now is just as easy as doing an online transaction, but it's also an extra step that doesn't need to be there in the beginning. So this kind of technology also removes that. And I would also want to add, so like especially for new people coming to crypto, which appreciate ownership, and like Emma said, like she's a collector and so on. So there's a certain value to real ownership. And also I would like to chime in here about one particular aspect about Elrond. Smart accounts, so like regular accounts on other blockchains, have an address, a balance in the native coin, and a nonce, which anyway indicates the number of transactions started from that account. On Elrond, in addition to these, a smart account also has data storage, right? Which means you can write additional data to each account, which basically means that you can attach the NFT to the account. Compared to other blockchains, an NFT does not live on your account. An NFT lives on a third-party smart contract, and inside that smart contract, the NFT is associated with your account address, but they're like worlds apart, right? So in terms of ownership, it can be also like, let's say, psychological ownership, that you actually own the item and it's not assigned to you somewhere there. Like if you want is the difference between having money in the bank and having money in your pocket. it's kind of like steal your money, but not really, right? So this would be like the psychological difference. And in legal terms, right, I think ownership attached to your account can make all the difference in terms of like regulations, right? So like, I don't know, a person from Norway wouldn't want to an NFT attached to a smart contract from Brazil, because those guys are burning the Amazon forest, even though we pay them money not to, right? Or I don't know, just an example there, right? So I think this has real deep implications on the long term, right? I think it goes a bit deep, but also I think I just wanted to a bit scratch on the surface here, because I think the implications here are transformational. Okay, sorry for the interlude.
No, I very quickly just want to catch on that as well, because I think that what you're saying there is really, really like of paramount importance, to be honest with you, Seva. We're speaking with a project, and I don't necessarily want to reveal who that is at the moment, just because we haven't formally announced anything, but they were indicating that obviously they have relationships with you know, massive, say, artists, if you like, coming into the space, or people with huge clout in terms of IP, some of the most popular IP in the world. And they were also indicating that they are like almost keeping elements of, let's say, data or images of the, you know, the metadata for the NFTs because of IP concerns, right? And you're absolutely right in terms of the fact that obviously, because a lot of, like, you know, essentially chains and or NFTs are completely decentralized by nature, you get a lot of these great legal and regulatory gray areas around, okay, I'm just going to screen grab this art, like, which I think somebody did on Twitter, and it kind of exploded a bit, and it was like, and then I'm just going to upload it and say, oh, look, I own that art. Why am I going to spend money on that? And you're absolutely right. There's a lot of interesting things and a lot of questions around regulation with regards to ownership and stuff, Seva. And I think, you know, obviously Elrond's coming up with something really interesting there in terms of how it's maybe going to address some of those regulatory concerns. So, I mean, I think that's the first I've actually talked to you about, or heard you speak about that specifically. But I'll definitely be keen to speak to learn more about that for sure.
Yeah, Silva is so intelligent. Just love him. Just love talking to him.
I
Yeah.
wrote down everything. It's the work of the team. I'm just here to read it out loud.
I feel like there's at least time for maybe one more question with perfect segue.
Actually, I actually just want to say
We are-
something. Sorry.
yeah.
I just got a message from our other founder that was not on the show, but he just keep on messaging. He just also wanted to mention that this Elrond character we created is actually going to be one of the strongest character for a while, meaning that like we're probably not going to create another stronger character for a while, because it's like what Robbie mentioned, it's actually a chain. So far, you know, we did like Bitcoin, SAF, like Ethereum and stuff, but Elrond's a chain. So a lot of projects we do partner with, but they're not their own chain, but then they still have different guardian. But as a like official chain guardian, Elrond is actually one of them. So that's why this character is real. So anyway, it's a message that our NFT professor, the other co-founder, asked us to share with everybody on the stream today.
Awesome. My niece is a chick that kicks ass. So Aaron could be anything else. Thank you for that, Sidon.
And also just to confirm, I think Idon also said he confirmed 1400 hash rate for catch number 1, which is way up there with the
Yeah, that makes
highest
sense.
hashes.
Actually,
okay.
Rob, speaking of 1400 hash rate for that one, can we take a look at the auctions again?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So let me just bring up my screen.
Sorry, Ben,
I
you can still
love, by
ask
the
the
way,
last
I
question.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love how well it goes into the lore and everything with the actual chain guardians, with this specific guardian. But yeah, sorry, Noi, go on.
Yeah, this is a question. When is Sever the interplanetary Grand Wizard character joining Chain Guardians?
Want me, like, yeah, I don't know, some old healer maybe, right? Casting spells from the back, like, oh, don't hit me. I usually play healer characters in MMORPGs. So like I used to play Shaman and Druid in WoW. So yeah, looking
I
forward
can
to
really
see what
see that.
Yeah.
I can see that, Seva. I was a holy and disc priest back in my day. I also played shaman, so I can see all the most intelligent people that hold everything together, Seva. They're always the healers. I'm just putting that out there, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, you guys go take the damage. I'll stay back here and chill. Make sure you guys make it.
Just analyze what's going on in the fight. Let you do the hard work and just pop off my heels, right? Yeah, I'm with you.
More DPS, more DPS.
Yeah, the problem's with DPS, guys. There's just not enough damage. Come on.
By the way, yeah, I had a disc priest too actually for a while. But is there a link to the auction anywhere, guys? I don't think there's one in the
there are
description, or
links
is
to
it?
the auctions in the description of the video. If the description's not looking updated, just refresh your browser and they should be present there.
Awesome. Sweet.
I think we also linked it on our Twitter yesterday. Yeah. I see that Lion is in auction. He won our
so we've
last
got-
number one.
Harley, Los Mitos, and Lion at the moment. 1.5225 ETH. I mean, but there's 45 minutes to go, and I think if we remember within the last 10 minutes of the auction last time, that really shot up quite significantly. So I think we're probably some way off what the final price would be right now. But all the same, that's a really obviously strong amount. And if we come back, I'll see if I can find the number one. And for some of those, I think just the images might not have been updated just yet. Sorry, the number 3 catch. Let's see how that's doing. Ending soon. Might filter it. Yeah, there we go. And the number 3 is currently at 1.1 and ends in 26 minutes. And we've got similar competitors, Lion, Los Mitos, and Pirates of Art somewhere in here as well. So as of right now, about 2.7k US to charity, which is amazing. So really awesome.
Yeah,
guys.
it's the
Thank you
last
so
few
much.
minutes that will be exciting.
Yep.
I am actually full transparent. I'm wrapping my ETH right now to put in an offer because that price is really good for the number one. So
Yeah, really.
That's my own ETH. Okay, so just don't people think that I'm.
I
That's my own
can't.
money. I just really want that for 1.7 ETH. Sorry,
So
go on.
towards 1.65 now. I cannot see Aaron number 1 remaining at this sort of price for long, if I'm honest. But there you go.
No.
We'll see.
I hope so
so-
for my sake, but I don't think so. But I'm putting in a bid for 1.7 now. But I think we answered most all of the. Well, I suppose there are many other questions, but everyone who did ask a question are eligible to win merge an Aaron or $1,000 worth of EGLD. And I suppose, Ben, after the stream, you'll take a look and just pick a few winners.
Yeah, essentially what we're going to do is give us about an hour to go through everything, and then we will put out a tweet with full transparency with the winners, and we will spread that across our Discord and our Telegram. So make sure that you get on both of those platforms, because the last thing we want is someone not claiming their Aaron, their merch, or their 1,000 USD worth of rewards. So give us about an hour to compile everything. But essentially, if you asked a question today, you're eligible to win.
I think, Seba, I think you said that you're gonna so the 1,000 EGLD was gonna be I think you said first place would be. Do you want to talk through how?
Yeah. So we should review whose questions we answered, because the questions that made it on the stream are eligible for the big prizes of $300, $200, and $100 respectively, worth of EGLD sent to the hero tag they sent them from. And then out of the others, we will randomly select 8 of them, which will get $50 each worth of EGLD. And I just want to say thank you, you crazy guys from the community. I see you out there. I've been watching the address. So there's been like more than 200 transactions in the last hours. So crazy. Also, I wanted to say thank you live to Jigme for creating stream particles. I've seen the Elrond logo pop up every time there was a transaction and so on. So cool. So cool. So thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Can I just, I need to hop in real quick. Jigme was absolutely amazing at helping us get everything set up. So I also wanted to give him a quick shout out for being as incredible as he was to ensure that this was a smooth process for everyone.
Yeah, can you
Yeah.
just talk a little bit about who that is, Ben?
Absolutely, yeah. He is basically all the animations that you've seen on the screen, the plugins that go into OBS. He's essentially the individual that has helped us ensure that everything's set up and that the wallets are connected and that the questions y'all ask make it onto the live stream. So he's been instrumental at making sure that y'all, the questions you're asking, make it essentially into the pool that make you eligible for the rewards. So in terms of rewards, you have him to thank.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add about Jigme. So Jigme is actually a French YouTuber. He has an awesome streaming channel. We met him because he's also an Elrond supporter, and he was doing a cooking stream with Maiar. So he was introducing Maiar and getting messages. So the entire team jumped on there. We sent him messages, we sent him some EGLD, and he was like super impressed. And he was also super nice. And then fast forward a few weeks or months later, he surprises us with a video. It's like, hey, Benjamin, hey, Sever, hey, everyone at Elrond, look at what we have created. And he introduced to us streamparticles.io, which is a complete new platform from the ground up that he created to integrate OBS, which is, I guess, the most used streaming software, with Maiar. So like every time there's a Maiar transaction sent, OBS triggers something on screen, like we've been seeing. And he has like a whole plan to develop this further for like streamers and to include NFTs and so on. And we're super excited and we love him so much. Both him and the developer who created the actual text here. His name is Serafin Bocacci, right? So he was actually the developer behind this, and with Jigme's guidance and with help from all the French community, guys, you are crazy, and thank you so much for this. Thank you so much.
Legends.
Amazing. Thank you, Steva. Yeah,
amazing.
Awesome.
And yeah, the bids keep increasing for Aaron, which is great. I wrapped ETH 3 times now to place bids, but it's going too fast, so I'm gonna give up for now. But yeah, so I suppose we
Just
kind
very
of
quickly before we wrap up, Fred, if you don't mind, I think
Yeah.
one other thing that we didn't obviously we've got the very kind prizes that have been donated by the Elrond team, which is amazing. Thank you so much, Sever, and the whole Elrond team for incentivizing both the Elrond community and the ChainGuardians community to come and watch today and interact and get involved. Obviously, from ChainGuardians' perspective, we are going to give away an Eren NFT and 2 bits of merchandise, as we've done on the previous stream as well. Ben, can you talk a bit about how those winners will be selected as well?
Sorry, the winners on our side?
Yeah, for the NFT and the 2 bits of merch.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are essentially going to be going through the transactions, the over 200 now transactions, and as long as you answered a question, we're going to be going through selecting the highest quality question that was thrown out there, and we are going to be making sure that there's an announcement with full transparency for all winners that participated today. And wow, what an incredible turnout, as to be expected from this community, because on a daily basis I'm on all the platforms, and the Elrond community showed up. A lot of Fred's fans showed up, and a lot of ChainGuardians fans that showed up, and I think all of us are just so incredibly thankful that there was such an amazing showing. And me specifically, I want to thank every single community that were here today, because what a turnout. Absolutely incredible.
Amazing, yeah. And I also want to add one thing before we end as well. I was on with Sever yesterday. We were on in a Google Meet just to get me acquainted with the app and everything. And if you haven't already installed the Maiar app, it's so easy. I made sure to do it myself to make sure that I knew before going live with this. Totally super easy. So totally recommend it. And also big shout out to Elrond community for all the support with this. Very cool. And so if anyone else has any more questions or anything else, if not, then I think this will be a good time to close the stream, because we're gone a bit over.
Yep. Sounds good.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for attending, and thank you for everybody's help.
For the invitation. It was awesome. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Sever.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. 瞳に映ったこの世界を守るため立ち向かうそれは心燃やすChainGuardiansネオンライトが市街の隅でまた霞み始めてる決意揺らぎそうでも閉ざされた空その鍵を壊せばそう握られた刃はまだ持て余されて加速する共鳴が言霊を脈打たせてくあなた注がれた光の雨瞳に映ったこの世界を守るため決意を新たに変えつなぎ絶やさないよ立ち向かうそれは先人にきらめくだごとき流星心燃やすChainGuardiansもしも最後が決められるのならば勇気を持って踏み出した意志貫いたままで使命を落とす定め荒ぶる流れに任せて戦えば注がれた光の雨瞳に映ったこの世界を守るため決意を新たに変え届くには小さな手なのだとしても一陣の光となり駆け抜けろ心燃やすChainGuardians読み解けない得体の知れない恐怖が目の前に迫る負けら揺らがない信じてる暗闇の中どうできるはず注がれた光の雨瞳に映ったこの世界を守るため決意を新たに変えつなぎ絶やさないよ立ち向かうそれは先人にきらめくだごとき流星詩人の光となり駆け抜けろ可能性へ挑む僕ら心燃やすChainGuardians注がれた光の雨瞳に映ったこの世界を守るため立ち向かうそれは心燃やすChainGuardiansネオンライトが市街の隅でまた霞み始めてる決意揺らぎそうでも閉ざされた空その鍵を